Okay, so thought I'd get on here and chat a little bit. One thing I was thinking about is Joseph Campbell and the hero's journey. And I was thinking about how there's so many different idioms of self-realization and being able to grow based on, I think you can kind of do anything. Do you know what I mean? So I was thinking about like, you can have people like John Coltrane or Michael Jordan, and you can see greatness in these people, but then you can also see like who's that Belford guy? You know what I mean? The dude that did a lot of sales, like the Wolf of Wall Street guy. And what I realized was all of these people are doing energy exchange, and that is moving towards greatness, whether it's sales, whether it's sports, whether it's music, any of these kind of things. And people, like, I guess the market can see that in terms of opportunity, and it basically can sometimes like gather into wealth or not. Like someone like Jaco Pastorius, for example, is he was doing so well in Weather Report. I don't even know what he was doing for like money, but in that there was a structured business sense around that band, which is why he was able to make a living. But then when he left, he did get into like, having all this mental health, and he's just an example of someone where it's just like he just didn't understand like finances or marketing or sales at all, right? And he had like such an ability to leverage, you know what I mean? But it was so single focused into him just being like, "Oh, I'm the best bass player in the world," that it's not like he ever put that into marketing or sales. Like there's all, or any of those kind of things. Like there's all these people, like even you look at someone like Justin Bieber or Drake or like Kendrick Lamar, and it's like the reason they're able to do what they're doing is they have a marketing team behind them. And some people don't have marketing teams behind them, but they're just pushing like their own information or like whatever they're offering as a product. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, just thinking about that kind of stuff a little bit. Like, uh, I'm getting into doing sales calls again, and it's weird. I gotta like get the cobwebs off, and I just gotta get the reps in, really. And when I was doing door to door, it was like you were just walking all day. So you're like, okay, well, obviously, I'm just gonna keep knocking more doors, and then just being able to perceive what's a good house to knock, and like, is this like that's the same thing if you're selling like solar or pest control or anything like that. You can look and you can kind of see what's up like through seeing the house and being like, oh man, well, this is like they're obviously gonna have pests, or they're obviously going to, need solar. Like they have like a pool, or they have no, you know what I mean? You can like see that. But when it comes to like leads, and you kind of have to like do education on like the prospect if you're just calling. And I'm pretty excited to just get into calling again and getting to talk to people kind of more, and just being able to obviously like make sales, but being able to help people when like that our offer can definitely help a lot of schools, for example, not even just like music schools, but anything really, yoga, martial arts, dance studios, anything that anyone wants to enhance their student retention and be able to like keep the students they have, and through word of mouth allow them to grow, obviously. And I was just, yeah, I'm just kind of going off on a bunch of stuff, but I was also thinking about when you're back, like say I'm back home right now, like I'm in my hometown, and the one thing I did realize is I remember when I first left, there were people that were like talking to me and being like, "Oh, when are you gonna come back?" And they'd reach out and they'd be like, "Oh, you're doing all these cool things," and like, "Oh, I want to see you again," and stuff like that. People that wanted to say, they say they want to see you, then you come back and it's like, wow, you kind of like seem like you don't care, or you're very like they're not saying much, or they just like don't have interest when it seems like they had interest. But then what I've realized is a lot of people don't want you to come back for them because they for you because they care about you. They want you to come back because they don't want to see you more successful than them. They don't want you to do things that are bigger than what they can conceptualize, or what they, you know what I mean? Not everyone wants to do all these different challenges in life and go through the internal growth. And in any kind of sense, like whether it's like getting good at music, or getting good at your health, or getting good at sales, or building your business, or enhancing your circle and your social skills, or whatever you're growing at, that all kind of goes back to your own spirituality and internally really alchemizing that energy, and alchemizing, oh man, there's all this stuff that I need to work on. You see this in a lot of stifled musicians that can't have self-expression. They can't express themselves, or they get so into their head about being on stage, or like people in job circles where they're like, oh well, I can't do this better, so gonna have to make like a social hierarchy to enhance myself, or to make someone else look bad, or all that kind of stuff. You even see that in like other social circles and sales. And but the thing with sales, when it's commission, it's like you can't really do stuff like that as much, because it's just like, oh shit, like this person's just clearly just making us more money, so you're not, you know what I mean? Where other jobs, it's like you kind of can, do certain types of manipulation. But where I was going with this is, I'm trying to figure out where I was going with this, because I was going down a certain route. And yeah, like, so like alchemizing that kind of stuff, right? When it comes to performing, you need to unstifle yourself, and you need to heal, and you need to do all of these things to be able to like reach, like, I'm just like fully self-expressed in my own authenticity, and that it doesn't really matter towards the validation of other people, and I'm just like playing my art and doing it the best to my greatest ability. Then obviously like pushing that kind of healing towards like marketing, or sales, or any kind of promotion, or anything like that, where a lot of these people, they just don't want to heal, and they don't want to do that kind of stuff. So it's like they might have like resentments or hate, and it's like, or hatred or whatever, but like that's because they have resentments towards what they haven't done, right? And another thing that I was going to mention is, like, you see this in a lot of sales reps that like kind of can't push past a certain amount, is like they learn all the scripts, and they learn so much about like product knowledge or anything, and it's like industry product knowledge only matters to like a degree, but really solving someone's problem and being able to connect with them, and being able to transfer like a service and an energy, and that's the same thing. It's like energy exchange. Like playing music is energy exchange, you know what I mean? When someone's like even doing like someone, an athlete, that's energy exchange, and like you can see the excitement on fans. Or same with music. Or I really have a problem with, not like a problem with, but I've never really been able to look at, say, famous people and look at myself as any different than them. Or like I just don't see certain hierarchies. I just see people as like, in terms of their like ability, not even just their ability, like how they treat people. It's like I see someone with like all the, like, I've played with people that have like Grammys and stuff, and I remember my one buddy, he had like a bunch of Junos, but I see like how that has never phased me, or never really like mattered. Or if someone has like a really prestigious music degree, or they're working with some kind of like artist, it's like, well, that doesn't mean you're any necessarily better at this specific thing. Or you know what I mean? It's like like the accolations, like I've never, like even when I get a lot, I don't feel any different. You know what I mean? Like certain amounts of validation, I just don't really feel different in any of those kind of things, and I think that affects like how I move and that kind of thing. But yeah, genuinely, I guess this whole thing was about, it was about like everything. It was another kind of like me just talking about a lot of stuff. But yeah, I'm gonna be hopping on the phones again, trying to get the reps in. And yeah, maybe I'll start doing some videos about that. But I think it's always good to speak about what's on your mind and really take all this energy and just like let it come out. Because sometimes like I used to have these very long phone conversations with a lot of friends, but then I just realized like, man, sometimes I just gotta speak, and it's good to, you know, document this kind of stuff about what's going on in my head, you know. And it's like a really peaceful night. I'm like out by the water. And yeah, I had a good workout today. I did jump rope. I was doing like weighted back extensions, did some bench press. And yeah, I think just pushing past self-limiting beliefs and just, you know, alchemizing all that energy and the whole hero's journey. And if something is put in front of you in terms of life and something's supposed to be hard, it's because you're supposed to be a greater person, or you're supposed to, there are greater things that you're supposed to reach. So you have more challenges, and the universe or God or whatever is going to give you more challenges because you have untapped potential, right? And some people have more untapped potential than other people. And I think most people have tons of potential, and they just don't even, it's either they're not aware of it, or they try to just lie to themselves, or again, they have self-limiting beliefs. And yeah, I think that's why like sales is great, is because you can really push like mentally how much money, or how much of like how valuable you can make your offer. You know what I mean? Like where a lot of people go, "Oh wow, you're just asking for a bunch of money." It's like, no, I'm providing this much value, and since I'm deciding to make this valuable in my service or product that I'm offering, that's how I'm getting all this energy exchange, and why I'm getting like so much more money. It's the same when you look at people that just do like sales training, for example, and people go, "Oh, that's just sales training." It's like, yeah, but you're taking all these different people and you're essentially enhancing the amount of money they can make, or the amount of energy they're able to, you know, allow other people to experience, or like it allows these other people to offer even more like resolutions or whatever. And I think that really separates like a really good salesperson from someone that's just trying to be like forceful, or being like, "Oh wow," like, you know, like it's just so different, because when everything is in alignment, there's no pushiness, and there's no pressure. There's no like, "Oh, can I resolve this thing? And how much can I enhance your, you know, your business or whatever you're offering?" Like education, that's why people pay so much for education, or why people pay so much for sales training. And I think, I guess I'll end this by saying, I think knowledge and, you know, just pushing past all that self-limiting beliefs, or like alchemizing your full potential, is probably like the most important thing you could do. Is like even education outside of school, or education within school, or you know what I mean, education within business, speaking with other business people, exposing yourself to the right group. That's kind of where I think I've kind of not been associating with a ton of different people right now, and I think that allows me to have these open spaces. Like I'm working all the time, but that's where you start to meet people that are in alignment. And it's not even like being like cutting everyone off necessarily, but it's just being like all these people that are feeling like all these mixed energies, or it's like, "Oh, this feels out of alignment right now. I'm just going to be with my own energy and see what my energy is." And then you kind of let people back in, or like new people, that you have the space for new people. And yeah, I think I'm gonna sign off, and I think this was another good video. It's just like a lot of different ideas, and I think I need to get some like meditation. But Again, I'm going to end this with saying go to worldgroovesociety.com, make your account, and take it easy and have a good one. See ya.